The world is mourning the loss of one of the most iconoclastic oil men in the business. J R Ewing died on Friday at the age of 77. Now, of course, for those of you who are still suffering from a Thanksgiving hangover, we are, of course, talking about the actor himself, Larry Hagman, who played J R Ewing in the TV series Dallas. But we found a few things to compare to current-day oil production and oil men. Chris, you along with Rob Cox, have written an obituary for J R Ewing. And what are the things that you find that are sort of still around 20, 30 years after JR's heyday?
Well, the parallels in some ways are quite striking. Obviously, JR was known for his loathing of regulation, and Texas oil men still feel pretty strongly about this.
Absolutely.
But also some of these sharp business practices that JR was known for, sharp business practices that he was known for, still live on in people like Aubrey McClendon and Tom, who's, of course, the famous Chesapeake.
Which has been had a lot of problems this year. He's had to give up his chairmanship, still CEO. They may have to sell off a lot more of their assets. But
and some of these guys are really famous for mixing their personal and business finances, as JR did. Of course, Aubrey McClendon famously sold his antique map collection to his own company for $12 million and was then forced to buy it back again.
Now, of course, J.R. Ewing's oil company, Ewing Oil, was run by the family, completely by the family, right? So it wasn't a listed company, but nonetheless, the nepotism that was there and the nefarious use of funds through much of the series was probably greater than what we're seeing at Chesapeake. Well, one hopes. I mean, truth can often be stranger than fiction.
But this is a current generation of oil men that are very much back on the resurgence again. So when the series was in its heyday in the mid-1980s and it was getting absolutely gigantic viewing, this was a great time for Texas oil men. Oil prices were incredibly high. US oil production was close to sort of 8.5 million barrels a day.
Right.
Of course, it then fell to a low of about 5 million barrels a day.
By the
by the early 1990s.
Which is when Dallas was cancelled.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether it's time to the oil production or just to lack of really good storylines. I mean, how many times can you have Bobby Ewing come back from the dead after a season?
Well, this was 356 episodes, so I think they milked as much as they possibly could.
But of course, it's back. The series came back this year, along with J R Ewing, and I suppose not quite a cameo appearance, but he's still there. But it's focused much more on the sort of younger members of the family. But it's back. Is that because oil is back as well?
I hadn't thought of it that way. It's a definite possibility. Well, what one can say is that America's having this oil renaissance, and sort of in his last years, I'm sure JR, at least the fictional character, would have appreciated that. The Texas oil men, Oklahoma oil men, these guys are right back on top again.
Although he's probably not so happy with his son, of course, his fictional son, who is... What's he doing now in the new TV series? He's running an alternative energy company, out of Dallas at least.
I have to confess my complete and total ignorance. I'm sorry, I haven't seen the new series at all.
Ah, Chris Swan, what can we do? Well, the good news for Chris Swan is that even though Larry Hagman has died and J R Ewing is no longer with us, I'm sure there'll be reruns aplenty coming, so Chris and you can all catch up. And with that, we'll be back with more Breaking Views tomorrow.